Welcome back to the Take One podcast. I am your host, Envoy,
I'm your co-host Steven.
and we have two new guests today.
Hello, I'm David.
Yo, what's up? I'm Will.
Today, we will be talking about school. So,
Word.
David, what did you do all day yesterday?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yesterday, bro, I did work for like 2 hours. The rest of the day, I played golf.
What the hell? all right. So,
Yup.
give us an example of what you're doing right now.
All right. So basically, this is usually how my day works out.
Mhm.
So in the mornings, I have my class. Usually, on a bad day, on a good day, they all be bunched up together in the morning. But on a bad day, I'd have like a few classes in the morning. I have to wait all day for my other classes, which are in the afternoon, late afternoon. So I have to wait for that. So in between that time, I do homework. And since I'm a senior, I have to do college admissions and stuff like that.
For
So that's
real.
pretty much my entire day. And I also, on my free time, I exercise sometimes, got to get that, get them gains, you know what I'm saying?
See, this is hella different from me because we are the same age. I'm 17, you 17. We're both seniors.
Yup,
But
yup.
unlike you, I am leaving everything to the last minute. I did not start my Common Apps yet.
Which is, I'll admit, that's pretty stupid.
That's tough. And
I mean, it's all about what you prioritize. David, you prioritize school, getting grades and everything, and you want to get into like an Ivy League and everything. But with Oscar, he's more relaxed with that. Like it's not that serious if he doesn't get into an Ivy League, you know?
so, would you say that's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, it's all up to what you believe in, and if you truly believe in school and joining an Ivy or going to an Ivy League, then sure, it's a good thing, like, especially if your parents push you. But in my
Yeah.
opinion, school is not the most important thing. So you would be fine, I'd say, not
Yeah.
going to an Ivy.
So, Will, being the oldest one here, do you have any advice for rising freshmen of college, me and David?
Man, you guys just do what you guys think is best for you. Like if you don't think school's for you, then don't do school. If you think school's for you, then do school. But sometimes you gotta think about what other types of options you have other than school. Because like David, right? If you really if you think about what you want, and then think about the people who's telling you what they want, right? Because if you constantly adhere to other people, then you in the end, right? Everybody else gonna be happy, but you're not gonna be happy, right? So, and what's most important to you? Is it yourself or is it other people? Because ultimately, you're gonna be the one living your life. And like for Oscar, like hey, sometimes if you leave stuff to the last minute, it's all good, but like sometimes you gotta do stuff when it's time to crack down on it. You gotta do that. But like you guys make it what it is for yourselves because ultimately it's your lives and you make do with what you have.
I do intend on going to college and getting that safety degree, but like I can see beyond college, like after college, you still have debt, and like I don't want to have that negative balance on my conscience that I gotta pay over for the rest of my life.
But you gotta understand though that like that's the price people are willing to pay to go to that school. Like that's not your priority, right? If you
Yeah.
think that that's too much money, then obviously you can get a different education somewhere else. But for other people who do get into that school and they think, I really, really want the resources this school can give me, and the network opportunities, the faculty, teaching, and like all the like other resources that school can give you, then they be willing to pay that price. So it's ultimately, what you want when you go to college. That's why there's a trial, right? Schools ask future college freshmen to come look at their school, and they try to advertise the school in the best way. And if those resources resonate with you, then that makes it an enticing offer.
See, you said advertising. Can we all agree that at the end of the day, the school system is strictly a business?
It is a business.
I would
That's what it is.
yeah, it is a business.
Like they are designed to make you pay this amount of price
That is correct.
for. See,
Because you know the private schools that literally are hella expensive and Like it's the same thing at school. Like CUNYs and stuff. They teach the same thing, but they're private schools. Those are businesses. They're strictly just for like making money and like giving the basic education that regular colleges give.
But aren't like all colleges businesses? Because if they weren't, if they were a nonprofit organization, when they make their tuition like
Yeah, but
free.
I'm saying private colleges are like mainly for business. Like CUNYs and SUNYs, they're cheaper because they're there, especially CUNYs. They're there to help the like provide cheaper education. But private schools, they're there mainly to collect the money
Yeah.
because they know people want a good education. They want a college degree, and if they can get the reputation that they're a really good college and they have a lot of great alumni, then they can make that they can take that make that an advantage and charge more for to go to their class, to go to their school and stuff like that.
Like using high school as an example was a pretty bad example, but like I went to a different high school than everyone here, but I think I learned the same thing. I went to a quote unquote specialized high school, but I don't feel specialized. Like I have to take this public transportation that eats away at my parents' wallet and Stephen and Will. I don't think they had to pay for transportation.
In high school, I guess we just walked.
But yeah, Oscar and I, we have to. I mean, Oscar technically has a bus, but you still have to pay for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to take the subway. Well, I have to take the Long Island Railroad, which is basically like a whole train system in New York. And then after that, I have to take the subway, and after that, I walk to school, and that takes like an hour, a little over an hour to like an hour and 30 minutes, which is, and that's one way. So I have to do that again when I come back home. So you can already tell that physically, it's already hard on me, especially having to wake up like earlier than like most students do. So
Time is money, on top of the money. Is that really worth trading? Do you think it's worth it, David? Trading that education for your time and money? I can tell you right now, I don't.
I think it depends because I think after middle school, when you start high school, I think that's when school, in my opinion, starts to become a little useless. Like I'm pretty sure, like once, like because we're all old enough to know this, but like when you get to a certain age, you realize that half of the stuff you're learning, 10 years down the line, you're gonna like forget it and you won't need it like at all, right?
No, that's true. And like that brings us to the next topic. Like, to what extent is school important?
Exactly. And what I'm saying is that, like, I don't know if you remember this, but I think like we discussed it one time. I'm still like confused as to why there isn't like a finance class, a finance course that we can take.
Yes, personal finance course.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when you grow up, because the whole idea behind school is that it's supposed to prepare you for the real world when you grow up,
Yeah.
And when you grow up, you have to learn about finances. You got to know how to pay your bills, pay back your debts and stuff like that. But the thing is, schools are they're more concentrated on the idea of teaching us stuff like calculus and like physics and stuff like that, and like global history, instead of teaching us things that we actually need to know to survive. Like what?
Yeah, bro.
Like
I don't need to know about the Mesopotamian Empire. Like, what is that gonna do for me?
Exactly. And it's like to this day, I have no idea how I'm going to deal with the fact of paying debts and like paying bills and stuff like that, because they don't offer that like self-finance course to help you learn, because that's something you actually need.
But see, I'm gonna play devil's advocate right here. I think school is important up until let's say like high school, right? Because aside from the school aspect, there is like the social aspect too. I think everyone here went to the same elementary, but I didn't meet you guys until, yeah. But anyway, the social aspect, I think that is an important part of being in school, because like school is basically your entire environment aside from home. But up until like high school, when you're like independent, like do you really need that social aspect?
Yeah, I can kind of see that. And the thing is, like with me, I'm not against the idea behind school because the in the end of the day, the idea behind school is a good one. You know, to help prepare us for again the real world and to help us, you know, become the people, and it helps us like become the people we want to be.
Yeah, but like I asked this question to Stephen and Will like quite some time ago. Like what how much on a scale of 1 to 10 would you credit college to who you are today?
Yeah, I wouldn't really credit it much because, well, out of 10, I would just give it like a 2 or so because the only thing I got from college so far is the friends that I've met and maybe like the Chinese class that I've taken. That's about it. I didn't really enjoy anything else. I didn't really pay attention. I didn't really get good grades or anything like that. So it's just friends and learning a new language or
Mhm.
continuing my education in Chinese.
What about you, Will?
I would say it's not much contribution to my like personal life, but like it really depends on the college you go to and the people that you meet. Because if you go to a school that requires you to dorm there, then the people that you meet, whether they're older, younger, same age, or whatever, those people, and then those people who become your close friends, or I don't know, people that you hang out with frequently and you're constantly around them, then the influences begin to start. You start seeing influences in your daily life, like how you talk, or not always, but like lots of times it's like this. Whether and some people, they join fraternities and sororities, and people who didn't used to do something before they joined the sorority fraternity, they started doing it because of that. So it really depends on the person and the specifics. So each case by case scenario, can't really be judged in a general situation or in general case. Dorming is makes it easier to make friends because you're constantly around them. And I know there are some people that are gonna say, "Oh, but you can make friends commuting," but it's not the same. It's not. Oh, I get to go to class and then I get to walk home with my friend, to the dorm. No, it's not like that because commuting is totally different. Lots of times when you're commuting, you had a long day, you have to travel, and then you have to go to class, and then you got to get home. So like lots of that time spent is different.
Yeah, you and Steven do not dorm.
No, we don't.
Well, plus with this entire Corona thing, it's basically impossible to dorm right now. So
It's
like
possible, all right. I mean,
it is?
SUNY still have to make money, yeah. So my cousin goes to Albany, right? And
Mhm.
he dorms up there. Even though classes are online, some people still want that college experience to like the freedom from their parents. So they'll still dorm. And colleges will offer it because they need money, right?
Yeah.
So it's still a thing, but it's just not as many people do it. Uh, not as many people dorm because it's just not worth it. If they
But I
can
plan
tell,
on dorming. Elon Musk said one time, you're paying for the experience, not really for the education.
uh, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, especially especially since if you don't go to college, like Graham Stephan, I don't know if he made a video about him and his friends. Like since he didn't go to college, his life was like much different. He didn't have like the same experiences as his friends that went to college. He didn't really have as much in common, and I think he grew up much more apart from them.
Yeah, that's all one thing. For another thing is like, doctors and those people that go into like med.
Yeah.
I heard they trade like 13 years of education just to make what? Like a 500K salary? And I'm not saying that's little by any means. But you guys think that's worth it?
See, when you go into the field of medical and become a doctor and stuff, I feel like a lot of people they don't do it just for the money. Like I actually thought about it, and when I wanted to do it, like being a doctor and stuff, it was because I wanted to help people. It's not because of the money. Like the money, up to a certain point, the money is like it doesn't bring more like enjoyment to your life. It's all about, do you really want to help people?
Yeah, I also thought about that. Like when I was in like what, sixth grade, I was like, yo, I want to make this big bank. So I was like, top paying jobs of all time. Number one, I still remember, was anesthesiologist, 220K a year. I was like, yo, this is my calling in life. You really have to force yourself. Like you're trading 13 years of your life to make. It's really not about the money anymore.
Yeah. So the debt is a problem because a lot of people think since they're gonna have such a large salary after that, it's gonna be easy to pay off. But a lot of people don't realize when you make that much more money really fast, there's something called lifestyle inflation, and this is something people take for they underlook it, and this is why it's so hard for them to get out of that debt. And since people underlook it, it's much harder to get out of, and it's a real problem that people don't think is a problem.
So my cousin is planning to go on med. She finished her bachelor's already, and she had to take a year off to really decide if she really wants to do it. And she did, but like I basically don't even see her anymore because she's always studying and going to school. So is that trade-off that you really need to take into consideration?
Yeah, I mean, that was basically the same with me. It's that I know, like, obviously, like, I don't go to med school and I don't go to college, so I might, but like I go to an early college school, so I kind of know how it's like. But basically, I like for a long time now, because my parents, they keep telling me, classic like Asian family mentality is like, oh, you need to get good grades and stuff like that. So basically, I've been trying to abide by that, try to get the best grades as like I possibly could. And for like the past like few semesters, like 4 or 5 semesters, I've basically been getting like almost all A's on my report card. And but at the same time, I don't really feel satisfied by it anymore because the things that I had to sacrifice and the things I had to give up to get to that point, in the end, I really thought it wasn't worth it because, like, in the end of the day, do I really care about any of these classes? Not really, you know? It's like 10, like, again, like 10 years down the line, I probably won't even remember a single thing from this class, And it's like, I had to give up all these things for something that I, like, don't even give a damn about, And it's like, it's really heartbreaking, like, when I thought about it, because not only did I have to give up, like, stuff that I really enjoyed to do, but, like, my parents, like, when I gave them my when I showed them my grades, they congratulate me, but it wouldn't even last like a day long. They congratulate me for like 5 minutes, and then like it's back to being normal. And it's like stuff like that, like, really puts you down. And it's like, you don't even have time to, like, for your own life. You don't even have time to have a life. It's always just working hard for something that you don't even care about.
Yeah, you made a really good point about like Asian parents, and maybe it's not only Asian parents, but my parents. They're like, oh, you gotta be a doctor. You gotta make that 100K salary a year. But like, I don't know anything about doctors, and like it's stressful too. Like the job. Imagine being like sued over something you did not mean to do, or you actually succeeded and they still sue you. Like that is
Exactly.
very stressful. Stephen and Will, do your parents think the same way?
My parents do not actually. They don't tell me to be a doctor because when even from an early age, I never really did well in school, and especially in high school, I think that's when they realized I wasn't gonna do well in school in general, and I
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
good
tough.
with school. And they accepted the fact that trade school was fine if I wanted to do that. And yeah, they didn't really force the whole school thing on me. But like going back to the David situation with the doing something that he's just gonna forget and stuff, something like that. If you truly enjoy what you're learning and you want to retain it all, that's something to work towards. doing something like that, it's a lot easier because you actually want to do it. But when I'm learning like politics or something, when I'm trying to go for like a finance degree, that's something I just don't feel like doing. And I think that's one of the hardest parts of college or school in general, because they want you to learn something that you don't want to learn. You know you don't need it, and you find you have no willpower to do whatever the work is. And yeah.
What about you, Will?
They don't really enforce anything. I
Really?
kind of just do, like, I in the beginning, I wanted to, in the beginning I thought it was, find a high paying job, work somewhere that's like decently upwards in like social scale, like not like, I don't know, but somewhere, like, my parents always say, an office job is best, blah blah blah, whatever, right? But like, I'm starting to like move past that, and as I move past it, my parents like, hey, if you're happy with it, it's okay, whatever you want to do. Like, the other day I was talking to my mom, and she said, like, finish your degree, and if this doesn't work, then find a side hustle. That way you can, not only have to focus on one thing, but you can also be, talented in other things as well. But I think there's also like this misconception that we study and, it's time wasted. Like you guys said, oh, we have to spend how many years in med school only to become a doctor. But for them, is it really like that? We only look from the outside. We can only see what we see. But what about what they see? For them, right? They want to be doctors. And what is their goal to be doctors or lawyers or anywhere that takes a large part of your life, right? These guys don't think of it, as like, oh, I spent 13 years wasted to become a doctor. Nah, it's not like that. It's these guys think like, oh, I invested 13 years of my life to be a doctor, because that's what, they care about. That's their true end goal. That's their end game, right? That's what they want to be in life. So that's not a waste to them. That's an investment to them. But to us, we don't understand that. So that's why we only call it like a waste. It's like you guys would say, a trade-off. Only if you experience something, a goal that you really, really want to, achieve in life, then it's not a trade-off of your years in life. Then it becomes an investment for the time in your life. Because you guys have said time is important, right?
Yeah.
And how you spend it. Let me ask you guys this: average, how many hours you sleep a day?
Oh, 7.
I need my sleep.
Let's just say 8 for easy rounding purposes.
Yeah.
Let's just say 8.
Yeah.
How much time is that you sleep in a year?
Like 100 days.
That's 4 months.
Damn.
Right? That's 4 months, right? 1/3 of 24 is 8, right? So 1/3 of a year is 12. I mean, of 12 is 4 months, right? How many hours you go to school? Average.
I think like 8.
8, right? So that's another 4 months, right? So now let's think about. So now you have 4 months left, right? So you have 8 hours, 4 months left.
But we're not
Right.
going to school 8 hours a day. We're going to school 8 hours,
Like-
5. But I know what you're trying to say.
It's just a generalization, right?
I mean, true. We do got to do homework on the weekends. So I
It's
guess
just a generalization. So now, what about your other stuff? What about like your chores, etc., stuff that you have to do, right? That takes up more time. So how many hours you got left in a day to do what you really want to do, right? Medical students, lawyers, all these guys, they take time from that, and they invest their time to get to where they want to be. Not trading, it's investing, right? You guys know that. You guys invest money to make more money, right? They're investing their time to get to their goal. That's what it is for them.
Have you ever heard someone say, "What would you do if money wasn't a thing?" Like, well, what job would you do? You know. So, being a doctor, just because you want to help people and not for the money, at the end of the day, it's worth investing because that's what you want as an end goal, as you said, right?
like you're doing what you love. No, if you love what you do, then you'll never work a day in your life.
In school, I'm studying finance.
Yeah.
Outside of school, I'm studying the stock market. And you know what? I quite do enjoy studying the stock market. It's kind of like psychology in a way because of how the market moves.
Yeah.
But that's for another day.
Hey, Dave is studying psychology.
Well, like, here's the thing: is like, I definitely do agree with what Will said. I definitely do. And I wasn't saying that like I invalidate like everyone trying to become a doctor. Like, yeah, I definitely do understand that that what they're doing is worth it to them because they're truly doing what they love, right? And they're investing in to achieve something that they want to do, that they really, want to do with their life. But what I was saying was just coming from like my own personal experience. I wasn't invalidating anyone else's like investments or anything. I was just what I was saying was just coming from me and what I was going through in my life, because like I'm pretty sure I told you all this, but I want to become like a writer when I grow up. Like I want to become like a screenwriter, write stories and stuff like that. So when I said it was a waste of time, I just meant that like what I was doing in school was really it really doesn't have anything to do with what I want to do with when I grow up. Like like why do I have to learn calculus to be a screenwriter? You know what I'm saying? It's like stuff like that that I don't really understand, and I think the one class that is like closest to what like related to what I want to become is like seminar, because we talk about like philosophy and stuff like that. But even that, it's just like, it's just for like life, not really for what I want to do when I grow up. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what, so like that when I say that it's a waste, it's just like, you know, for me personally, like, because, it has nothing to do with what I want to do when I grow up. But like for like people like who want to become like doctors, and yeah, if hell yeah, go to medical school. Like if it's worth it to you, then yeah, go ahead. Like use those 13 years to like train yourself and to like, be the best you can be at your job.
Wait, you want to be a screenwriter and psychologist?
No, I don't want to be a psychologist. I want to, because like I think psychology could like help me with my writing. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So that's why I
see,
want to.
yeah. I don't even know what a psychologist does. I'm taking AP psychology right now. I
Yeah,
have no
see,
idea what's going on.
that's the thing. If there was a psychology course in my school, which is weird that it doesn't have one, because I go to an early college school. If there was a psychology course at my school, then yeah, I definitely choose that, and that's something that I think would be worth my time. But the thing is, I don't have classes like that in my school, which is why I personally think it's a waste of time for me.
Yeah, you don't have APs.
I mean, technically, all my classes are APs. Like they're all college courses that you actually take in college.
Mm,
Look at it this way. Like last year, I took college calculus, which is basically AP calculus.
mm.
Yeah, so like just basically any class that I take is AP. So like it's just replaced by the word college. So it's like AP biology for me is college biology 1 and like college biology 2. AP calculus is college calculus, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
You also take like college electives too, like college composition and like intro to Russian literature, stuff like that.
what did these do? You said it make you graduate early?
Yeah, because they substitute in for like college credits, right? It's basically
Oh,
you get a lot of college credits. So when you it and also it depends what school you go to. So if you go to school that accept your credits, it can basically equate to like 1 to 2 years worth of like college courses. If you go to a school that accepts all those credits, damn, you can graduate like 2 years early.
you planning on doing that? Like we were talking about this the other day.
Maybe. I'm
Maybe.
thinking about it. Yeah, the thing is that if I end up studying psychology, because I don't know, like if, because who knows, I might change my major, or like in college. But if I do end up studying psychology, I want to try studying it at a school that does accept my credits. But if I do enter like a screenwriting course instead, I wouldn't mind going to like a college where I have to go full 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I get that. I get that.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, if I do end up sticking with psychology, what I'm gonna do is after I graduate college, I'm gonna go to graduate school to study screenwriting, anyways.
Oh,
So if I could
really?
just study, yeah. So if I could just study it in college for full 4 years, then yeah, that's fine with me.
So psychology is like a, would you say is your backup, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
I feel that. I feel that.
It's a good way. It's a good gateway to a lot of businesses. You know, you feel me?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
So, Will, I think you're studying coding, right?
Sure, yes, sir.
Do you enjoy what you do?
It's it's like in the beginning I didn't really enjoy it, but now it's become more of a like just a learning process. You know, I kind of slowly start to understand it more, so now I'm slowly starting to enjoy it a little bit more. So it's still kind of like a feeling out. I'm feeling a little bit better about it than I was a couple of years ago.
So it's like, would you say you're gonna pursue a career in coding?
Hopefully, yes, I would like that.
See, back to the thing that you're doing, what you like. See, I took a coding class this year, algorithms. I think everyone knows my story. So basically, for the first 2 weeks, I knew absolutely nothing that was going on. And after that, I was, uh, I kind of just stopped going to class and stopped doing the work. And then I transferred to French level one. See, that's another thing. Like, if I don't want to do something, I'm not going to do it. That's just me. Like, I'm not going to force myself to do something I don't want to do.
If you don't like something and you have the option to do something else that can like also help you, then yeah, sure, go ahead, like switch to that. You know what I'm saying?
But, Uncle Sam wants me to go to college. So I guess I got to do that first. And I guess in college, I'll find out what I really want to do.
The thing is, it's like in life, this is in life in general, there are going to be things that you have to do that you're not gonna like. So in those cases, then yeah, obviously you have to do it. But if there are situations that you are in where you don't like the situation you're in and you could change that into a better situation, then you should try your best to, make it into a better situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I meant with like the comparison between you switching classes and with college, because with Common Apps, you kind of have to do it if you're going to go to college. That's like
Yeah.
an example of in life where you might hate doing it, but you have to do it. But with your classes, you can transfer into a class that, well, I don't know if you like French more, but like you're more comfortable with, right? So that's a situation in life where it's like you're in a bad situation, but you can make it into a better one, you know?
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Like, maybe, hopefully, like what you said about psychology being a backup and what Will said about finding side hustles. Like, I want to build like multiple pathways. So just in case one thing fails, then I can, you know, fall back on another one.
Yeah. You can always major and minor in something when you go to college,
There's
or
also
or
that.
do
There's also that.
or do dual majors too, if
Oh,
you're
bruh, dual majors. Oh no, I
but
don't think I
that's
can do that.
that's a lot of work though.
All right, that's all the time that we have today. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, dude. Yo, if you like this podcast, drop a like. If you like this content, subscribe. Hit the
Dude.
notification bell. Drop some critiques. What you think? What you guys would like to see? Drop some topics about what you guys would like to hear about. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Peace out.
All right, peace, guys.
All right, peace.